The wind howled mercilessly as Olivia Turner trudged through knee-deep snow, her fingers numb despite thick gloves. 3 hours ago, her car had slid off the mountain road, and darkness was falling rapidly. "Just keep moving," she whispered to herself, the words instantly swept away by the bitter wind. Each step became harder as the blizzard intensified. She had escaped Richard's threats in Denver, but nature seemed determined to finish what he started. Through the whiteout conditions, a dark shape materialized a cabin, its windows dark and chimney cold. Olivia staggered to the door, pounding until her knuckles hurt. No answer. Desperation overcame propriety as she searched for a way in, eventually breaking a small window pane to unlock the door. The cabin was rustic, but well-maintained. A wood stove dominated one wall, firewood stacked neatly beside it. Guilt gnawed at her as she started a fire, but survival outweighed politeness. As warmth slowly returned to her limbs, she explored her temporary shelter, a single large room with a kitchenette, a bathroom, and a loft bed accessible by ladder. The shelves held interesting books on wilderness survival, engineering, and classic literature. Everything was organized with military precision. No photos or personal items betrayed the owner's identity. Olivia had just settled under a blanket when the door opened. A tall man stood silhouetted against the snow, his broad shoulders dusted white. "I can explain," she said. Rising quickly, heart pounding, the man stepped inside, closing the door against the storm. In the firelight, she saw a face weathered by outdoor living, strong jaw covered in dark stubble, piercing blue eyes beneath furrowed brows. He appeared to be in his mid-30s, dressed for the elements in practical, expensive gear. "You broke my window," he said, voice deep and calm despite the accusation. "I'll pay for it." "I was desperate. My car went off the road about 3 miles back," Olivia explained. "The storm came so suddenly, ... It does that here." He removed his jacket, revealing powerful arms. "Nathaniel Reed, Olivia Turner." She extended her hand, which he shook briefly. "I'm not a criminal, just someone who didn't want to freeze to death." Something in his eyes suggested assessment rather than judgment. "Most criminals don't start fires and wait politely for homeowners to return." Relief flooded through her. "I can leave tomorrow once the storm passes." Nathaniel glanced toward the window, where snow continued to accumulate. "Tomorrow won't be better." Storm systems locked in for at least 3 days. Panic flashed across Olivia's face. 3 days meant Richard might find her trail. Nathaniel noticed her expression. "Like something chasing you, besides the weather." Olivia hesitated. "Just bad decisions and worse consequences." Nathaniel nodded slowly. "I understand those." He gestured around the cabin. "You can stay until the road's clear, but I need to know, are you bringing trouble to my mountain?" "Not intentionally," she answered honestly. He seemed to accept this, moving to add more wood to the fire. "Then welcome to Raven's Peak, Ms. Turner. Just remember, everything on this mountain belongs to someone, even the things that look abandoned." Reluctant sanctuary morning revealed the cabin in crisp detail, then the full extent of the blizzard. Snow had drifted against the walls, burying the world in pristine white. Olivia stood by the window, clutching a mug of coffee Nathaniel had prepared. "Your car's unreachable for now," he said, joining her. "And cell service doesn't exist up here intentionally?" she asked, noting the sophisticated solar array visible through the snow. A ghost of a smile touched his lips. "Privacy has its advantages." They established an uneasy truce. Nathaniel worked silently at a desk tucked in the corner, occasionally typing on a satellite-connected laptop. Olivia busied herself with repairing the broken window, using supplies from a well-stocked toolbox. "You've done that before?" Nathaniel observed as she finished the repair. "My father was a contractor. I grew up on job sites," she explained, wiping her hands. "What exactly do you do here? All alone? Think, work, exist without explanation." His answer was polite but firmly closed. "What were you running from when you crashed?" Olivia tensed. A business partnership gone wrong. Criminal wrong? Or emotionally wrong? His directness was startling. "He claims criminal. I claim self-defense." She met his gaze steadily. "Sometimes the line blurs when you're desperate." Nathaniel nodded, understanding evident in his eyes. By the third day, they had established a rhythm. Mornings spent maintaining the cabin, afternoons on individual pursuits, evenings sharing meals and sparse conversation. Olivia found herself watching his hands capable, strong, gentle, when handling delicate objects. He caught her looking once. The electricity between them momentarily charged the air. On the fourth morning, a distant mechanical sound broke the silence. Nathaniel was instantly alert, moving to the window with practiced caution. "Snowmobile," he said. "Two of them." Olivia's blood froze. "Is that normal?" "No." He turned to her. "Who would come looking for you?" "Richard Preston. My former business partner. He has resources." Fear made her voice thin. Without hesitation, Nathaniel grabbed her coat. "Basement. There's a hidden room behind the wine rack. Stay there until I come for you." "Why would you help me?" she asked, bewildered by his immediate decision. His jaw tightened. "I recognize hunters when I see them. Go." She descended the stairs as he prepared to greet the visitors. Through the floorboards, she heard muffled voices. Nathaniel's calm tone contrasted with insistent questioning. The men eventually departed, but Olivia remained hidden until Nathaniel's footsteps approached. "They're looking for a woman matching your description," he said as she emerged. "Said they're concerned about a missing colleague?" Her eyes met in silent understanding. "Thank you," she whispered. "I owe you." "We all need sanctuary sometimes," he replied, his hand briefly touching hers. "But sooner or later, Olivia, the truth finds us even on a mountain." The storm finally broke, revealing a transformed landscape. Pristine snow stretched to distant peaks under brilliant sunshine. Olivia stood on the porch, breathing deeply. "It's beautiful," she murmured as Nathaniel joined her. "That's why I chose it." "Yes." His shoulder brushed hers, the contact sending warmth through her despite the cold. "Few people appreciate true isolation. Is that what you're seeking?" "Isolation?" she asked. He considered her question. "Simplicity. The world got complicated. I simplified." Later, searching for extra blankets, Olivia discovered a newspaper clipping tucked inside a Buka technology magazine featuring a younger, clean-shaven Nathaniel accepting an innovation award. The headline read, "Reed Tech founder revolutionizes cybersecurity." She quickly returned it, heart racing at this glimpse into his hidden life. That evening, as they prepared dinner together, their hands touched repeatedly in the small kitchen. Neither apologized nor pulled away. The tension between them had transformed into something magnetic, drawing them closer with each passing hour. "You found the article?" he said suddenly, stirring a pot of stew. Olivia froze. "I wasn't snooping intentionally, I know." His voice held no accusation. "That life feels like someone else's now." "What happened?" Nathaniel's eyes darkened. "Success attracts predators. Business partners become adversaries. Friends become liabilities." He looked at her pointedly. "Sound familiar?" She nodded, understanding completely. "Richard was my mentor before he became my nightmare. He taught me everything about software development, then tried to take everything I built, including your freedom." Nathaniel asked quietly. "He's framed me for financial crimes. Claims I embezzled client funds that he actually took." Her voice trembled. "I have proof, but he has connections." Dinner forgotten, Nathaniel moved closer, his hand gently touching her face. The contact broke something inside Olivia, dam of emotions long held in check. She leaned into his touch, and his lips found hers with unexpected tenderness. Their kiss deepened, hands exploring with growing urgency. They moved toward the bed without words, shedding layers of clothing in reserve. In the firelight, their bodies came together with intensity born of shared understanding and mutual desire. Afterward, lying in his arms, Olivia traced the scar across his shoulder. "We're both running from something, or toward something," he murmured into her hair. The peaceful moment shattered with distant engine sounds. Nathaniel was instantly alert, moving to the window. Coming up the access road, its expression hardened. "Get dressed quickly." Olivia's hands shook as she pulled on clothes. "It's Richard." He must have tracked my phone before it died. Nathaniel pulled a satellite phone from a locked drawer. Time for truth, Olivia. All of it. I have digital evidence of his fraud on an encrypted drive, she confessed. He'll do anything to get it. Nathaniel's eyes flashed with determination. Then he'll have to go through me first. Part 4. Confrontations. No crunched under tires as 3 black SUVs parked outside the cabin. Nathaniel positioned Olivia behind him as the first knock came forceful, demanding. Mr. Reed, called a smooth voice. Richard Preston. I believe you're harboring my colleague. Nathaniel opened the door, revealing a well-dressed man flanked by security personnel. Richard's smile didn't reach his cold eyes. Miss Turner is a guest on my property, Nathaniel stated firmly. State your business. Richard's gaze slid to Olivia. My dear, you've led us on quite the chase. The company funds you absconded with are needed for payroll. You stole that money, Olivia countered, stepping forward despite Nathaniel's protective stance. I have proof. Richard's smile tightened. Desperate accusations from a thief. He turned to Nathaniel. I don't know what she's told you, but she's wanted for questioning regarding $2 million in missing client deposits. Interesting, Nathaniel replied coolly, because I've made some calls while you were driving up my mountain. The SEC has received some anonymous evidence regarding Preston Digital's financial irregularities. Richard's composure slipped momentarily. You have no idea who you're dealing with. Actually, Nathaniel countered, you don't. This is private property, and you're trespassing. One of Richard's men stepped forward menacingly. Tension crackled like static electricity. Suddenly, a deep rumble interrupted the standoff. The ground trembled beneath their feet. Landslide, Nathaniel shouted, pulling Olivia inside as snow and debris thundered down the mountainside, cutting off the access road completely. Trees crashed. Earth moved. When it settled, they emerged to find Richard and his men surveying the damage. Their vehicles were untouched, but the road was buried under tons of rock and snow. We're all stuck here now, Nathaniel announced grimly. Storm weakened the slope. No one's leaving for at least 2 days. Richard's face contorted with fury. This changes nothing. Olivia returns with us once we can leave. That's for authorities to decide, Nathaniel replied, and they're very interested in reviewing my evidence. Your evidence? Richard laughed bitterly. Who exactly do you think you are? Nathaniel straightened to his full height. The man who founded Reed Security Systems, the company that handles digital security for half the banks in the country. Richard's face drained of color as recognition dawned, and Nathaniel continued, someone who knows exactly how to trace financial transfers. Even ones you thought were untraceable. Olivia watched the confrontation, emotions warring within her relief at Nathaniel's support, hurt that he hadn't trusted her with his identity earlier. Inside, as Richard's men set up camp by their vehicles, she confronted him. You knew who I was all along, didn't you? That's why you helped me. Nathaniel's eyes softened. I knew your software company. I didn't know you were its creator until you told me your story. By then, ... double quotes, he hesitated. By then, what? She pressed. By then, I already cared too much to let the past matter. New beginning spring arrived gradually on the mountain, melting snow and revealing hidden life beneath. 2 months had passed since the confrontation with Richard, who now faced federal charges for financial fraud. Olivia stood on the cabin porch, watching early wildflowers emerge in sunny patches. Still thinking about leaving? Nathaniel asked, joining her with coffee mugs in hand. She accepted the offering, their fingers brushing in familiar intimacy. My company needs rebuilding. Clients need reassurance. Denver's only 3 hours away, he reminded her. You could do both city and mountain. Their relationship had deepened through the winter's isolation. Nights spent sharing warmth and whispered dreams. Days working side by side. Nathaniel had gradually reconnected with his company remotely, while Olivia had developed new software using his satellite connection. I never expected to find peace here, she admitted. Or you. He traced her jawline gently. Sometimes what we're running from leads us exactly where we need to be. After Richard's arrest, Evidence had exonerated Olivia completely. Her professional reputation restored. Opportunities awaited in the valley below. But something held her to the mountain, something beyond Nathaniel himself. "I've been offered a government contract," she said hesitantly. "Cybersecurity infrastructure. It would mean travel, responsibility." "Should take it," he said without hesitation. "Your talents shouldn't be hidden away, unlike mine." "What about us?" The question hung between them, weighted with possibility. Nathaniel gazed across the awakening landscape he'd once sought as escape, now transformed into something else, a beginning rather than an ending. "This mountain has enough room for 2 lives, Olivia. Your ambition and my solitude can coexist." He took her hand. "I'm not asking you to choose." She leaned into him, feeling the solid strength that had become her foundation. "When I broke into your cabin that night, I was only looking for shelter. I was only looking for solitude," he replied, kissing her forehead. "We both found something better." Together, they watched eagles soar above distant peaks, circling in perfect synchronization despite their independent paths. Like the birds, they had found their pattern-separate flights that always returned to the same nest. "Spring always follows winter," Nathaniel murmured. "New beginnings after frozen times." Olivia smiled, turning in his arms to face him. "Then let's begin again together." Their kiss sealed promises neither needed to speak aloud. There on the mountain that had offered desperate sanctuary and delivered unexpected love.